This is a chocolate pound cake recipe that you'll keep coming back to every single time. It is tender and moist, and every bite has that perfect balance of flavors. We are using sour cream and dark brown sugar to add extreme amounts of tenderness and moistness to this cake. It's like nothing you've ever eaten before. You'll first begin by preparing your eggs. So we have 2 eggs, and using my clean hands, I love to separate the white and only use the yolk for this one. Then I'm going to add some vanilla extract and some room temperature sour cream. I'm using a whisk to break the eggs apart and to help it combine with the sour cream. Addition of the sour cream in this chocolate pound cake recipe not only enhances the taste and the flavor of the chocolate pound cake, but it also helps you get an extremely tender and moist chocolate pound cake recipe. So just whisk it. You don't want to incorporate air, you just want to help combine all of these ingredients together. There will still be a few lumpy bits from the sour cream, but don't worry, when we add it to the cake batter, it will be fine. Now we'll also prepare the chocolate element of the chocolate pound cake. So I'm going to bloom the cocoa powder. And to that, I'll also add some instant coffee powder, because the coffee powder really helps enhance the flavor of the chocolate and helps bring out the chocolatey notes from the cocoa powder. As you can see, I've added some boiling hot milk to the cocoa powder and the instant coffee mix to help bloom the cocoa powder. So when you add a hot liquid like milk or hot coffee into your cocoa powder, it helps enhance the flavors and the chocolate notes from the cocoa powder. So that essentially is what blooming is. I'll give it a good whisk. It looks like a paste. I'll keep it aside so it can cool down slightly, and then we'll sift in our dry ingredients, which is basically your all-purpose flour or plain flour. And into that, I've also added some salt and some baking powder. I'll sift this first in a bowl, and then I'll sift it again when I'm adding it directly into the cake batter. So now that all the elements are ready, let's get cracking with our butter so we can start working on the pound cake. So I have some salted butter, which is at room temperature and softened, and using my paddle attachment of my stand mixer, I'll mix this for about 30 seconds to help smooth out the butter. I'll just scrape the sides and the bottom of the bowl, and you will be scraping the sides and the bottom of the bowl several times throughout the process of making this pound cake, because you do want to ensure that all ingredients are combined really well together. Now I'll add some caster sugar, and then I'm going to add this dark brown sugar in here. Addition of the dark brown sugar is so vital in this cake recipe and completely changes the flavor and the texture of your chocolate pound cake. Because of the massive quantity of the molasses content in your dark brown sugar, it really helps add a lot of tenderness and moistness to your chocolate pound cake and tastes absolutely incredible. And the texture is so unbelievably tender and fine. You're going to love the crumb on this cake. So you are going to mix this for about 10 minutes, as you do with any pound cake recipe, because it is the creaming of the butter and the sugar that really helps add that beautiful texture and helps leaven your cake. So you're going to mix this for 10 minutes, but not 10 minutes in one go. You'll mix it first for 5 minutes, scrape the sides and the bottom of the bowl, and then mix it again for another 5 minutes. And you will mix it on a medium-high speed. So on my stand mixer, which has a speed setting of 1 to 10, you will mix it on about speed number 8. You can see this is what the creamed butter and the 2 sugars look like at the end of 10 minutes. Now I'll turn the mixer back on a low speed, so on speed 3 of my stand mixer, and I'll start adding the eggs, sour cream and vanilla mix a little at a time into this creamed butter and sugars mix. You don't want to add everything in one go. You'll add a little at a time. Make sure that it's getting well incorporated into this batter, and then continue adding the rest of the egg and the sour cream mix in here. And you'll start to notice that the texture of this batter really starts to change. It starts to get really nice and glossy. It's getting emulsified. There is a possibility that your batter may start to curdle, but you have nothing to worry about. The addition of the extra egg yolk also adds extra emulsification here, so your batter will get really nice and glossy. However, if it does curdle, do not worry. After you've added all of the egg and sour cream mix, you'll scrape the sides and the bottom of your bowl. I'll plop the paddle attachment back on, and then on speed 8, which is medium high speed on my stand mixer, I'll mix this for about 2 minutes, and it'll get really nice and aerated at this point. It will increase tremendously in volume and it'll look really glossy and very, very luxurious. It almost starts to look like buttercream frosting at this point. You can see how glossy and velvety that looks. That is absolutely perfect. Now into this, I'm going to add the cooled chocolate mix that we made by blooming the cocoa powder. So it looks really nice and thick at this point, and it has also cooled down. That's the reason why you want to bloom the cocoa powder first in the beginning, so that it has plenty of time to cool down while you're whipping your butter and sugars and adding the egg. So once you've added the bloomed cocoa powder mix, which basically looks like a paste that you've just seen, you'll start whisking this or mixing this on a medium speed, that is speed 6 to 7 of your stand mixer, for about 30 seconds to a minute, and then again you'll scrape the sides and the bottom of the bowl. Like I mentioned, you do want to scrape the sides and the bottom of the bowl several times to make sure everything is getting mixed and combined really well. And now finally we'll sift in our dry ingredients. We already sifted these in the beginning, but we sift it again a second time directly into the cake batter. And once we've sifted in, I'll put the paddle attachment back on, and on the lowest speed setting, so speed 1 of my stand mixer, I'll just keep mixing this for about 10 to 15 seconds until it's really well combined. You do not want to overwork the batter at this point because you do not want to develop the gluten. You'll get a very dense and gummy pound cake, and you absolutely don't want that. You want a tender, moist, melt in your mouth pound cake, and for that you want to ensure that the gluten does not develop. And that's the reason why you'll only mix it for about 10 to 15 seconds until it just comes together. I'm going to give it a final scrape through, and look at the texture of this cake batter. It looks so lush and it is so intensely chocolatey, especially after it bakes. The color is a beautiful rich dark brown, and the texture is so phenomenal. It just melts in your mouth. So now that my batter is ready, I have my loaf tin, which is a 7-inch loaf tin that I have greased really well, and I have lined it with parchment paper with plenty of overhang, so it's easier for me to lift the cake out of the tin once it's ready. So once I've added all of the cake batter, I'll shuffle the tin around and tap it really well against the work surface to release any air pockets. I'll smooth the batter out with my offset spatula, and using some softened butter, I'll make a little line in the center to help it crack right from the center as it bakes. And then this will go in the oven at 160 degrees Celsius, which was preheating. You need to preheat your oven first at 160 degrees Celsius, and then you'll bake it for about 55 minutes to an hour, or until a skewer, a wooden toothpick, or a knife inserted in the center comes out clean but just with a few moist crumbs. Then you'll let the cake sit in its tin for about 15 to 20 minutes before taking it out of the tin and letting it cool down completely on a wire rack. While the cake is baking and cooling, you'll make your ganache. So this is a really simple ganache recipe. You're going to take equal parts of chocolate and cream and then give it a good mix and pop it in the microwave at about 10 to 15 second intervals. This will cause the cream to heat up and the chocolate to melt, and you get this glossy ganache. It's still pretty warm, so you're not going to use it straight away, which is why you want to make this while the cake is baking and cooling, so that the ganache has time to cool down and set a little bit as well. It needs to be slightly thick so you can slather it on top of your cool chocolate pound cake and then let the frosting just set for a little bit. So once you've made these little swirly patterns on top of the cake, let it sit at room temperature for about half an hour or so, and then we are ready to slice into this delectable chocolate pound cake enriched with sour cream and made with dark brown sugar, which gives you the most amazing texture to your pound cake. I mean, look how moist that looks, and it's super tender. Look at the fine crumb, and it just absolutely melts in your mouth, and it's such a perfect addition with your cup of coffee or a cup of tea, whatever works for you. but this cake definitely should accompany it. If you found this chocolate pound cake recipe helpful and you also want to learn how to add a citrusy zing to your pound cake recipe, then I would recommend that you check out this lemon cream cheese pound cake recipe. I promise you it is going to be so game changing. So do click on this video that you see on the screen and check it out. You are going to love it.